Hello and welcome to this presentation from Sourced Capital. Today we're going to look at our latest opportunity to invest in Lea Road in Gainsborough. We're going to give you an overview of the project. We're also going to get the opportunity to meet the borrowers and ask them some questions and find out a little bit more about their experience as well. So first of all, just touch on what we're actually going to cover, what you're going to gain as in knowledge from this short presentation. So we're going to have a summary of the project, who we are, a review of the project itself, the investment opportunity, so the figures, a high-level overview, risk management, timescales, the borrowers, and the next steps to invest as well. My name is Stephen Moss. I'm the Managing Director of Sourced Capital. I've been in the property sector for almost 20 years, and here's a list of some of my team members that will be able to help you if you have any questions or queries. So we have John Wilson, our Relationship Director, Emma Riley, our Operations Manager, Paul Horton, our Platform Manager. And if you want to contact any of the team, whether you have a particular question about this project or how you invest into the project or about your dashboard, please contact them via email at capital@source.co or our telephone number 0333 900 9999 or visit our website sourcecapital.co. First, a little bit of an overview of our values for the business. So we're very focused on our commitment to customers. Anybody that's already invested with us will know this. They'll know that we put this at the center of everything that we do. We're also very transparent. So in terms of our updates, we share all the information on our platform, including the monitoring surveys, the valuations, the reports, and the legal pack as well, to make sure that as an investor, you have a full insight into the opportunity. As an FCA regulated business, we take risks very seriously. We'll always make sure that we complete our due diligence in great detail and it's signed off by our committee before it goes onto our platform. Honesty is very important to us as a business to make sure that we're sharing the good and the bad and the updates as early as possible with factual information and any evidence that we can support with that as well. Diversity and innovation. So it's very important to us as a business to always look for new ways that we can present opportunities, we can develop those opportunities and spread in diversity. So as a network, we have over 100 offices across the UK, which means that we can offer investment opportunities right across the UK, again, spreading those investments. I'm constantly looking to improve as a business. So we're always looking at ways that we can improve. So any feedback that you have for us as a business, whether it's regards our lending, our platform, our procedures, we would appreciate that feedback. So Sourced Capital is part of the Source Group. We have a development team as well in place. So we have a pipeline of over £277 million worth of developments. We have over 100 offices across the UK. And we have a 100% repayment success rate to date to investors. We also charge zero fees to investors. So I think it's quite an important one to take into account because a lot of investors that we deal with, if they invest in their pension or ISA, and they say, well, we're getting a 7 or 8% return, well, actually once fees are taken out, that quite often it could be 2 to 3% less than what they were expecting. On our investments, our average is a 10% return. On this opportunity, we'll be able to give you a little bit more detail on what that will be. So here we have it. Here we have the property. We're going to look at this in a little bit more detail. We're going to look at some floor plans as well. First of all, an overview, summary of the property. So 37 Lea Road, Gainsborough, DN21 1LL. The borrowers have purchased this property in auction in February 2020 for £72,000, completing on the property in May. The property is due to be converted to provide a high-spec, 6-bedroom, all-en-suites HMO. The investment opportunity was identified by the borrowers, retained property consultants who completed multiple projects in the area. The borrowers are looking to raise £100,000, which part will go towards the refinancing of the property and the rest towards the refurbishment works. There's a 12-week build program in place. The rest of the term will be used to achieve a commercial valuation so the borrower can refinance and keep the property. The property has been purchased and is on freehold, unencumbered with vacant possession. Investor funds shall be utilised as £28,500 to refinance the property's acquisition of £72,000, the remaining balance covering refurbishment costs and professional fees drawn down when fully funded. So the current property, so as you can see here, it's a 4-bedroom end terraced in Gainsborough, which is just near Doncaster. When acquired, the property was in average condition throughout, albeit dated. Since acquisition, internal strip-out works have taken place and been completed. Externally, the property is in good condition. Demand for high-quality rooms in the area is robust, and there's limited competition for good quality rooms. The works will be undertaken via a local HMO specialist. So you can see just from that image, it does look quite a large property, quite a large end terraced. And the project has been verified as SAS compliant as well. So it's important if you're looking to invest with your pension, and it's been approved by our team. The plan, upon completion, the property will generate rents of between £90 to £100 per room per week, with approximate total market rents per month of £2,470. The property will be professionally managed by a local HMO expert and specialist. Upon completion, the property will be refinanced and held as an investment. You can see there an example of the ground floor layout and the works that will be completed. And we'll have a look, and the borrowers will kind of walk us through further floor plans very shortly. As an overview of the project figures, so the loan amount is £100,000. The forecast GDV is £186,624, and this has been provided by a independent RICS valuer. The loan interest rate is 8% per annum, and there is a 2% bonus if you invest over £20,000. The loan term is 8 months, and the repayment of the interest and the capital is at the end of the term. The security is first charge security over the property and the borrower's equity that's been invested. The exit on this particular loan is to refinance. There is no requirement for planning status, and a RICS independent valuation has been completed and is available for you to download on our platform. The property has been verified as SAS compliant and ISA compliant as well, with a minimum investment of £250. A little bit more detail in terms of the finances and how they're broken down. So the property was originally purchased at £72,000, and there's a cost of works to convert it into the HMO of £70,000. The legal cost is £1,500, so total cost of £143,500. There's a cash injection from the borrower, and they purchased the property of £43,500. Part of the funds that are being raised will be repaid for investors' funds on purchase of £28,500. So the total loan required is £100,000. Forecast GDV, as stated through the RICS valuation, is 186,624. So there's a profit margin of 23%, a loan to value of GDV of 54%, a loan to value of purchase price at 40%, and the loan to value of works is 100% to cover the 100% cost of the works. In terms of security, so we take our investor security very seriously. There are several ways in which a loan is secured with investors. The first one is first legal charge. So the first legal charge is registered against the property for the full loan, and it's registered on behalf of the security trustee structure that we have in place by the solicitors. There's a personal guarantee taken out by the borrowers who have agreed to provide this and drafted by a solicitor acting on behalf of the security trustee. We operate on a drawdown facility, so the funds are released in stages upon the borrower providing a monitoring survey report and approval from the security trustee. And finally, as a business and a platform, Sourced is a trade name of JARC1 and regulated by the FCA as an appointed representative of rebuildingsociety.com. Our structure as a business is very unique in terms that we have a head office support whereby we will support the borrowers with training, with local support, with our development experience as well. So as a business, a head office, we've got over 75 years experience, and this covers a number of different areas with property sourcing, developing, sales, lettings and funding. So any project that we put onto our platform is supported fully by our head office team as well. And it'd be good to actually meet the borrowers now. So I'd like to introduce you to James Cresswell and to Paul as well. So Paul, I believe you're going to introduce yourself first. I'm just going to get these slides up so you could say hello. give us a little bit more information. I'm sorry, my mouse is actually just frozen there.
Thanks, Stephen. Yes, my name is Paul Terry. I'm part of Sourced Norwich along with my partner, James Cresswell. I have nearly 20 years experience in the property industry. My main professional background experience is in project management. I effectively started out as a consultant project manager and QS, mainly in the residential sector. So the majority of my experience has been on kind of medium to large scale mixed use residential schemes. However, I have covered most sectors throughout my career, including hotels, hospitality, commercial, office and retail, and various other fit outs and new builds. I've more recently been working directly for a developer in central London, again, mainly on residential development projects, with a focus on partnering with church and community organisations. So I've a great deal of experience in the industry, and very much looking forward to moving that forward with our new venture with Sourced Norwich.
Fantastic, Paul. Yeah, so a huge amount of experience there, which is really encouraging, because obviously from some of the projects you've just explained, this is quite a relatively small and straightforward project then for yourself with your experience.
It is, yeah. I mean, generally I've worked on kind of larger scale schemes throughout my professional career, ranging in size from 100k up to 100 million kind of size. So yeah, this is a fairly small and more straightforward scheme to what I've been used to working on more recently.
Fantastic, excellent. And yourself, James, could you introduce yourself and give us an overview of your experience in the property world?
Sure, thanks, Stephen. My name is James Cresswell. I'm a chartered surveyor specialising in commercial valuation. Commercial valuation meaning anything from a small parcel of land to shopping malls, to residential towers, to offices, hotels, schools, and large master plan development sites. Excuse me. For example, I have historically valued one of the largest shopping malls in the world, and have recently concluded a valuation of a 10 million square foot master plan development site. Wow,
fantastic, excellent. So again, very similar to Paul, your experience, you know, this is a relatively straightforward and small project, is fair to say?
Yes, yeah, very much so. It's the exit here will be converting it into an HMO, which will look for a commercial valuation and commercial finance on completion. And turning to the property itself and just providing a little bit more detail, the property is located, as you mentioned, in Gainsborough, for anyone who doesn't know, is situated on the River Trent, and that's approximately 18 miles to the northwest of Lincoln, also close to Scunthorpe and Doncaster and Sheffield. The road communications are also good, easy access to the M1, the M180 and the M62. And also Gainsborough has the benefit of 2 railway stations, which are served by 2 different railway routes. There's Gainsborough Lea Road, which is within walking distance of the subject property itself, and also Gainsborough Central, which is to the north of the property. The town centre is also to the north, and again, it's all within walking distance. There are a number of schools in the area, and there's actually one of the renowned top state schools in the country, Queen Elizabeth High School, which consistently earns outstanding results and is constantly oversubscribed. And also nearby is the Gainsborough Academy. And local employment also in the area is good. There's a lot of regeneration going on in Gainsborough itself. The West Lindsey District Council have got an £18 million regeneration plan for Gainsborough, and they're also supporting the development of brownfield housing sites in partnership with Homes England. The property itself, as you mentioned, Steve, it's currently a 4-bed end of terrace house with the accommodation arranged over ground, first and second floors. When we bought it at auction a few months ago, it was in a, shall we say, a dated condition with those lovely floral carpets, which we won't be retaining. And the accommodation stays over ground, first and second floors. Strip out works have actually started on site, and the proposed development will provide for a 6-bed all ensuite HMO, and the development will be completed to a very high standard of specification. What's characterising the HMO sector in Gainsborough itself at the moment is there's a lot of substandard accommodation in the area, and we want to raise the bar in Gainsborough itself and provide high quality properties, and there is a good robust level of demand for high quality accommodation in Gainsborough.
Fantastic, excellent. So obviously we mentioned earlier on in the presentation that the plan with this one is to purchase, refinance and retain. So I think it's fair to share with the investors that are looking at this project that you guys are doing this as more of a personal, to build your own portfolio. Obviously, as a profession, you're working on some very large schemes, which gives you fantastic experience. But this is more for your sort of personal portfolio to build that side. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're looking for this one to retain and to generate a cash flow going forward, and we will be looking for the exit strategy. We'll be looking for commercial finance upon completion, and when all of the rooms have been let, we are targeting local companies and contractors, potentially NHS Trust as well, or an alternative to that will be to lease the individual rooms to individual tenants as well.
Superb, excellent, fantastic. So obviously you've done a lot of research, which I know you guys are very focused on, the due diligence side of the project, which is brilliant. And when we've put together the stats in terms of the growth as well, there's been a 17% growth over the last 5 years. In terms of these types of properties as well, you clearly know the market very well to understand what's available, how you're going to be different, how the HMO will compete. Have you had a chance to speak to agents and tenants and to do that research to ensure that the demand there for a higher quality is in place?
Absolutely, and you touched upon it, Stephen. We're using local HMO specialists who have been very active in the area for a number of years, and they're called Combined Property, and they've been looking and providing high quality HMO accommodation in Gainsborough and the surrounds for a while now. And I've also been speaking to other local HMO specialists and agents, and demand is robust. Even during the lockdown period, one letting agent did over 60 transactions during that period. And we see a lot more, there's a lot more generation going on in Gainsborough, which will hopefully boost the employment there, which in turn will create a stimulus for both sales demand and also rental demand.
Fantastic. So that's even during the lockdown period, local agents are still seeing quite a demand for property as well.
Yes, absolutely. And there's, for example, one good quality HMO located to the north of this property. All of the rooms have been leased within last 3 months or so, and one other room at the beginning of the year. But also another property to the north of this property has been let consistently over the last couple of years to a company and achieving a good rent. And the company have taken the property as a whole and they're using it for their employees. So that gives, and they're taking it on 1 year terms, which also gives us certainty for the future income and the cash flows.
Fantastic, excellent. Well, that's absolutely brilliant. Well, we appreciate you kind of giving us an overview. If any investors that are looking to invest into this and they're interested to understand the exit, we have touched on it earlier in terms of it's a refinance and to be held as an investment opportunity. The interest will be repaid with the capital at the end of the term. So that's just to clarify how, as an investor, you're repaid and when you're expected to get your interest and your capital as well. From a legal point of view, so our solicitors acting on behalf of the security trustee have confirmed that there's a clean title report in place and will be putting the legal charge against the property when the loan is completed as well. We have two special offers for any investors looking to invest in this project. So if you invest a minimum of £20,000, there's an additional 2% the amount that you've invested added to your drawdown on the loan, which is great. And there's also a £50 bonus if it's your first investment and you invest over £500. You receive a £50 cash bonus as well on the drawdown of the loan. So 2 ways that you can increase your return on the investments. 3 ways that you can actually invest. So firstly, with a regular investment, so whether this is through savings or spare cash that you have, you're able to simply select the project and invest directly from there. Alternatively, we have an IF ISA, so you can actually set up an IF ISA and invest through that, or alternatively, you can transfer an existing ISA into a sourced ISA. And finally, we have a pension through SIP and through SAS, so 2 ways that you can make your pension work harder for you and get a better return. And if this is of interest, then speak to our team and we'll be able to help you there and take you step by step through that. In terms of investing, you simply visit the website sourcecapital.co, register on there for free, select the project and invest and earn up to 10% per annum. So very simple steps. I'm sure a lot of investors that are watching this have already invested with us as well. We go live at 10 a.m. on the 16th of the 7th, 2020. You just simply need to register with us, visit sourcecapital.co/projects and get yourself set up and invest from there. So projects like this do invest very quickly, so please keep that in mind as well. And if you do have any questions about it, as I said earlier, you can contact us either through email capital@source.co, telephone 0333 900 9999, or a live chat on sourcecapital.co, the website. So James and Paul, thank you very much both for joining us and supplying that information, sharing your experience with this property and what your thoughts are on the process you're going through. And we look forward to being part of the journey and videoing it as we go through as well.
Yes, thanks very much, Stephen.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.